morning and happy Sunday. Um, so today's video is going to be titled, Did You Realize? As we went through this whole week and as we went through every obstacle and every situation to try to gain our goal that we set intentions for, hopefully this week you realize. For this week I realized. There's a few things that I realized this week that's something I'm going to take with me for predominantly probably the last, many years on this earth that I'm blessed to have. So you realize your power of choice. You have the choice to go whatever direction that you want to go. You have the choice to make whatever decisions that you want to make. You have the choice to go in whichever lane that you choose to go in. But understanding that whatever choice that you make, you got to stand on that and you got to be consistent with that choice at all times. I also realized this week the power of change. The power of change, right? I used to hear the words change was, inevitable and all that stuff. Like, you have to change, which is not necessarily true. I mean, you got people who been doing the same things for 60, 70, 80 years because they just chose not to change. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that because at the end of the day, there was a choice. They made the choice not to change. You make your way to be. You make decisions go whatever path you want within those two words, choice and change. You have the choice to make a change. And if you don't like your choice, and you can change it, but understanding that the time that you got from making the initial choice, you can't get back. So one of the most important things is to always make sure you sit back and actually kind of gather all the information that you need to gather, whether it's with yourself, gather all the information within your environment, gather all the information that you see fit before you make the decision to make the change that you're going to change, whether it's good or bad, whatever the situation, the scenario is. Because the life is all about a multitude of tests, right? It's going to always be a multitude of tests. Every day can be a test. And as you go through life, you got to constantly look for ways to prepare yourself to not get distracted by it. Whatever you got, goals you got set in place, write down your goals or memorize it, visualize it, and stay tunnel vision on it. Because the only time you're going to be tested, the only time that you're going to be tested in a more rapid scenarios and situations, is because something greater good is on that other side. So also in this week, also understand, don't get distracted. Choice, change, and avoid distractions as much as possible. As I always say, and as I always will say, we are not perfect, right? None of us are perfect. So don't strive for perfection, all right? Strive for consistency. Sundays, which is a beautiful Sunday, is a day meant to rest, recoup, plan out your whole week not the upcoming week, but kind of get an overview of the past week, this past week that you just went through. And as you go through the cycles, basically, of where you succeeded at, where you failed at, where you were kind of indifferent at, write it down, make your adjustments necessary, and then you plan for the greater week ahead. And that's the whole point and the whole purpose of life that I'm realizing. That's the whole, this whole little crystal ball that we live in, what I'm saying, called life. It's just, it's a cycle. It's a cycle. It's a cycle of many, many, many different things. But at the end of the day, you got the choice to go with whatever cycle you want to go. You can either fall in line with it or you can break it. If you enjoy the cycle that that your life is basically in, then you're gonna go with the flow and see whatever destination that you was meant to see, or whatever destination that the previous was meant to see or entail. But being a cycle breaker, you got to go against the grain. And as a person like myself, I believe I attract many cycle breakers. I mean, as I look back and visualize a lot of people that I encountered, and I'm talking about just any part of life, was always, in an instance, cycle breakers. They always wanted to do something different. They always wanted, they was always wanted to be different. And that's just the type of energy that, you attract the energy that you are, regardless of where you at. Always remember that. Regardless of what place on earth that you is, regardless of what city, regardless of what state, regardless of what zip code, you will only attract the energy that you consistently project out there. So, if you, for example, you projecting negative, then you're gonna always attract negative energies to come around your circle. If you project positive, then you're gonna always project positive energies to come around your circle. I made a post yesterday. If you want peace, you don't go look for peace. You create peace. The world is literally your creation. What you create on a day-to-day basis is something that is going to manifest within your world at all times. So think about that this Sunday. Look at this past week. Ask yourself, be honest with yourself. Was my week more so positive with situations, or was more so negative? Whatever's way it wound up being, understand you played the major part in your environment being what it was. Now, we can't always change our environment, right? I mean, let me take that back. You can change our environment. You can get up, you can move, you can go, but you can't change the energies. You can't change in your mind unless you actually dig down deep and change it with emphasis. You have to literally change it. You got to change your thought process. You got to change the way you go about dealing with things in life. You got to change the way your perception of it. If you want peace, if you want greatness, if you want love, if you want money, if you want great health, if you want whatever it is you want, it first got to be changed. It's got to change within the thought process first. Your perception has to change. I have the ability, humbly, to create peace, whatever situation I'm at, whatever scenario I'm at. That's just because I'm just more so in tune with myself. I'm just more so in tune with myself. And I always said that you drop me off in any place of the world, I'm going to find a way to create peace within that world. Because peace is ultimately is what I seek. Peace is ultimately, it what motivates me. That is what makes Timothy the best Timothy. And so that's something I wanted to leave with y'all this Sunday. So let's take this time, take this week, reflect, figure out ways we can get better, put in the effort, put in the work to get better every day. And it may not happen the next day, it may not happen in a week, it may not happen in a month, but if you're consistently doing something, you will slowly but surely reap the benefits of all the hard work and manifestation and consistency that you put in to gain that. Sunday.